Hello YouTube, Dave here, and today I'm going to be taking a look at the Icewind Dale Rime of the Frostmaiden Dice and Miscellany set. Wizards of the Coast has sent this to me for the purposes of doing this review. However, they are not controlling what's said in the video. They are not indicating what type of review or how, if I should rate it positive or negative. They are not reviewing the video first before it goes live. They sent this to me simply and just wanted me to give my honest feedback. So the views expressed in this video, as always, are my own, but they did send this to me for review purposes, so I just want to get that out of the way first. So the Dice and Miscellany sets, this is, I believe, is the third one to come out. They have been really fantastic. Ever since the Descent to Avernus set, they just never fail to impress me, which is a major turnaround, because the earlier 5th edition dice sets to come out officially by Wizards have been pretty lackluster. The Tomb of Annihilation dice, the best thing about it was the tin that it came in, and yeah, they were just never really worth the price that they were charging. These products, however, I think do a much better job of actually living up to the retail price and giving you the value for your dollar. Speaking of that, the US retail price for this is $29.99, if I can get it to focus there, and the Canadian price, which is what which is what I would have to deal with living in Canada, is $39.99. Now on the back it does say Ice Dice Baby, which is a clear Vanilla Ice reference, which is awesome for me because I remember the Vanilla Ice era. So it says, planning an expedition to Icewind Dale, prepare for a cold reception by arming yourself with dice that bring the heat. Components: 11 dice with 2d20s, a d12, 2d10s, 1d8, 4d6s, and a d4. A player-friendly fold-out map of Icewind Dale and 10 towns. A durable felt-lined box that functions as 2 dice trays. The lid also works. 20 double-sided cards with descriptions and illustrations of characters and creatures one might encounter in Icewind Dale. So, again, they give you all kinds of extras there, and it just, like I said, does a fantastic job of validating the price that you are paying for these sets, which was sort of a weakness of some of the earlier sets. So, I did take the plastic off, but this is the first time pulling the product out of the actual packaging. So we'll just get this off here. We'll take a closer look at the dice. I'll go with the D6s because they're usually easier to get to focus. There we go. So the D6, so the coloration for this is actually really cool. The silver numbers are nice, but it has sort of this like black and like bluish, greenish sort of color to it. It's like almost like a black magical ice, which is actually one of the storylines in the Icewind Dale Rime of the Frostmaiden book. There's a sort of like magically infused ice that can be used to forge items and stuff. So this reminds me of what that actually is. So again, very nice colors. I think that they work really well together. The dice are very easy to read. So awesome stuff there. And there's just the other D6. And then we'll just, get the other dice there. Oh yeah, just really nice looking. I'm really looking forward to using these in game. Now the D20s have gone back down to the standard size, which is something that people were sort of complaining about with the last set, the L'Oreal Silverhand dice, which at first I was one of those people as well, but I actually really grew to love those dice as I was using them. But the fact that they went back to these is showing that they are still listening to what their consumers are looking for, and I'm totally okay with that. It does have the number 20 on the dice instead of the ampersand logo. It's probably just an issue with molding the smaller dice, because even like the Magic the Gathering life counters are larger than these normal size dice for putting those symbols in. So it's, again, it's sort of understandable. It's probably a lot easier for them to do it this way. But again, people were asking for the regular size dice to come back, and Wizards of the Coast did just that. So we'll take that as a positive. Alright, the next thing I want to do is just take a look at the box itself. So it is, like, as they say, it's a very sturdy feeling, thick cardstock box. That is somewhat difficult to take apart when you're reaching around a camera tripod. There we go. So the top there just has the I think that's the logo for the adventure itself. Like, that's the symbol that this storyline has. But again, it actually has sort of like this rainbow pattern. I don't know how well it's going to show up on the camera, but it does reflect the light very, very nicely. So you kind of see like the light spectrum going through it. Really, really cool stuff. And of course you have the felt inside, and the same goes for the base of the box. So that this here was the lid, and then you just have like the rune symbols on there. These can be deciphered. I think it's based off of writing in the player's handbook gives you the different languages. I'm not gonna go through and do that right now, but people have actually in the past told me what those phrases were. So I'm just leave them there so they can be seen for a bit. If anyone wants to pause the video and translate them, then they can certainly do so. And you just have the ampersand logo on the bottom there. But again, very nice box. And the dice, you know, it is a nice size box for rolling in as well. So yeah, no complaints there. Again, the quality of these have been, you know, really, really exceptional. And this is no difference. So here we have the fold-out map. So let's just move some of this stuff aside. So this is the player-friendly map. So we have the Icewind Dale region and its surrounding environment on one side. And then we have the 10 towns, maps for each of those on the other side. So again, really, really awesome stuff there. Okay, there's actually an advertisement card in here, which is kind of interesting. It says, grab an oversized D20 available only in the Dungeons & Dragons Drizzt and Guinevere figure pack. Exclusively, okay, so I think you have to get this online. I don't know if I'll be able to do that or not, but I might check this out because Drizzt is one of my favorite characters. And I'll just add for D&D Beyond there. And then we have just the backing for the dice there that you'd see when it's in the packaging. And on the back, it has some character description stuff for Drizzt Do'Urden. Now, some of these may contain spoilers, so I'm just going to say that now before getting any further as to what some of the creatures are that you might see in the upcoming book. But we have the white dragon here, and I'm not even going to try to pronounce that because I know I'm going to butcher it. But again, it gives you some information about them on the back, so these are great little aids to have as well. Then we have the Frostmaiden herself, who was depicted on the covers of the books, and just a really cool looking creature. So awesome stuff there. Then we have an awakened beast, and I also like the fact that all the notes on the creatures seem to be from the perspective of Drizzt Do'Urden. They've done that before with like Volo or Lorraine Silverhand, giving their thoughts on each of the like index cards here. Just really, really cool. So we got the Black Ice Berserker, who looks really at first I thought it was undead, but it's just sort of a crazed look. And then we have the Chwingas. I, again, probably said that horrifically wrong. We got those. Cold Lightwalker. So it looks like there's some really interesting creatures in this story that I'm really looking forward to seeing, and looking at their stats and seeing how their encounters are designed. Of course, Frost Giant. That's a really cool looking Frost Giant on the back of a woolly mammoth. And then, of course, you have a Frost Giant skeleton, an Ice Troll, again, with information about them there. Now, this one I actually really, really love. This is Windall Kobold, and it's like 3 kobolds in a human-sized coat. There's just something about that that is just super enduring to me. I love that. The artwork's actually really, really well done on these as well. Then you have Old Bitey, which reminds me of Billy Bass. And we have a Goliath Werebear, whose name, again, I'm not going to try right now because it is super late, and I'm still dealing with back issues, so, the stuff I take to alleviate the pain doesn't help with cognitive abilities too much. I try my best to focus on doing these videos. We have the Nomads. Then the Remores, a creature that I feel is sort of underutilized, and I will admit I am guilty of underutilizing it as well. Then we have the Snowy Owlbear, or the Polar Owlbear. Awesome stuff. Then we have Tekali Lee, or Tekali Lee, again, I said I probably shouldn't try to pronounce these names. The Knoll Vampire, and that is an awesome looking art. And we have the 10-towners. And a little note on them. A Verbeeg, type of giant. And then finally we have the Yeti. And yes, that is how I choose to pronounce it. And wrestling fans will get that reference and probably hate me for it. But there we go. So yeah, that is the set for the Rime of the Frostmaiden. I believe it releases, it's September 27th or September 29th. It's more towards the end of the month, but like I said, if you're interested in this set, you want to pick up the dice, it does give you plenty of time to go to your local game store and to see if they can order in a set for you and set them aside when their order finally does arrive. Again, I think it's a really, really well put together product, and I've been impressed with these maps or dice and miscellany set ever since they first started. And it's a very easy template to follow, and it's a template that gives you lots and lots of value. The handouts are great. The map is awesome. Again, it's the maps you can use for your players, so as the DM, you can sort of keep your maps separate and aside. That shows more detail, more locations. And the dice themselves, I can just have this really cool sort of like black ice look to them that is it's honestly one of my favorite looking sets of dice that I have in my collection. So I will definitely be using these the next time I run my D&D game. So if you're a dice collector like myself, and then this is an absolute easy purchase. If you're looking to run the Rime of the Frostmaiden adventure, this is a good supplement or a good accessory to have to run alongside of that, especially like I said for the handouts and the maps. And you get a really nice set of dice, a nice box to carry them in. It's a very, very well put together product, and I do highly recommend it. So check it out if you get the opportunity. Again, thank you to Wizards of the Coast for sending this to me. I do appreciate it. And I want to thank each and every one of you for supporting and watching this channel as well. That means the absolute world to me. So let me know in the comments below if any of you pick up this dice set, what your thoughts on it are, and if you use the handouts when you come to run the adventure. I always love to hear that kind of feedback from people to see how they use these products once they get them. So thanks again for watching. I will see you next time. Take care.